Chiefs Kingdom, the offseason moves continue for Brett Veach and the Kansas City Chiefs as he has now signed 2 more players, including 1 punter. We'll tell you about that all on today's show, but if you want this news before the video, you want to be on top of it, you want more content, well, guess what? I got you covered, because if you follow me on X/Twitter at Jace Andrews _, you're going to get this stuff right when it happens. I'm tweeting it out. I'm retweeting it. I'm putting stuff on there. I'm making sure you're covered with your Kansas City content. And you don't have Twitter, that's fine. We also got Instagram at Jace Andrews _15. I'm pretty active on there as well. Got a bunch of shorts content, little awesome stuff you can go find about the Chiefs, all right there on my Instagram at Jace Andrews _15. As always, though, if you follow me back, I'll follow back you. The first 10 people who do that, that's what's going to happen after today's show. So go find me on X, Twitter, follow me. I'll follow you right back if you're one of the first 10. Let's go into it. Jeremy Fowler had the report. Chiefs are signing free agent punter Matt Araiza. Now, Araiza was a 6th-round pick in 2022, was out of football last year due to a rape lawsuit, which was now then dropped this past December. Now, Araiza has a record, well, unlike anybody else, because he has records upon records upon records at the FBS level. San Diego State alum, 51.19 yards per punt. That's an FBS record. 39 punts of 50-plus yards. That's a record. 18 punts of 60-plus yards. That's also a record. This guy was labeled as the Punt God in college, was able to pinpoint drop his punt like a chipping wedge, along with booting it a mile. This guy had a lot of positive things and was with the Bills. They liked him, but then obviously the rape case came about and he was out of football. Now, what exactly is the latest with that? How exactly is he now signing after that? Well, here's what happened. In 2022, he was named as a defendant in an ongoing in a gang rape case. He was then released by the Bills a couple days later, and his criminal charges were not filed. Internal investigations found no wrongdoing, and finally, charges were officially dropped in December. So this is obviously kind of a good news for Matt Araiza, and he's been with a certain sports agency throughout the entirety of this thing, and well, he had a statement coming from them saying, "I am proud and honored to sign a contract with the Chiefs. I am thrilled to be able to continue my NFL career. I want to thank my family who have been my rock and my many friends who have been unwavering in their support." Now, I'm telling you right now, this is a punter that has a lot of stuff surrounding him and honestly was a huge name in the football world for a couple months. Guess what? We're making videos right away. This guy got signed, I'm telling you, basically minutes ago. We're already in the studio. We're already pumping out the video. That's exactly why you subscribe right here, because we have the best content on YouTube, and it's up to the minute dates. We got you covered right here. So hit that subscribe button, youtube.com/ChiefsTV, or you're watching this video. You're not subscribed. You're on laptop. You're on your phone. Just scroll down. There's going to be a little red subscribe button. Click that. Tap it. Guess what? It's going to turn gray. You're going to be subscribed, and you're going to be part of the coolest Chiefs Kingdom on YouTube. I'm telling you, it's going to be a good place. So hit that subscribe button right now for the latest news and rumors surrounding the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, we do have to talk about what this means for Kansas City and what this means for this guy right down here, Tommy Townsend. Now, he is set to hit free agency this offseason, and so with the signing of Matt Araiza, is that an inclination that the Chiefs are going to move on from Townsend, that they're not going to re-sign him? Well, I'm not going to go that far, but I will say it's the first sign that maybe they're thinking about it. Now, we have to compare stats here, because in some ways, obviously the NFL is a different being than college football. But for punting, it's somewhat of the same game. You're doing the same thing. The balls are a little different, obviously, in college than NFL. The pressure's a lot higher in the NFL, but the basic of what you're doing is the same thing. If we look at the stats here, in 2021, obviously Matt Araiza and San Diego State had way more punts, but he was nearly 1,500 yards more on punting yards. His average was higher than Tommy Townsend's. His long is an absolute insane number. The fact that he had an 86-yard punt, I don't think you realize how amazing that is. And then I told you, he can punt it like a chipping wedge. Well, guess what? 41 punts inside the 20. I don't care if you're in college. I don't care if you're in the NFL. I don't care if you're playing Pop Warner football. That is really, really good. I hate to say it, but in some ways, if Matt Araiza works out, he could be an absolute incredible weapon for the Chiefs to have. Now, I know that this isn't exactly something you maybe thought you'd see today because, well, Tommy Townsend has been a staple with the Chiefs for the past couple of years, and everybody loves him. I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't love Tommy Townsend. I love him to death. I think he's been really good for the Chiefs, and in some ways, I think he still may be with them. But I want you to pick a punter before I tell you why I think that. So, Matt Araiza, you want to type in. Tommy Townsend, type T. Are you sticking with your guns? Are you going with the new kid in town? What are you thinking? I want you to get down in the comment section. We're going to make this the pinned comment. And in fact, I'll actually give you a second to answer this question. Scroll down there. By the time you scroll up that YouTube ad break, it's going to be over. All right, here's my take. Because I know people are sitting here saying, well, hold on. I like Tommy Townsend. Why are we signing a punter? I just wanted to re-sign Tommy. I just wanted to have him back. I understand and I agree in some ways. But I think you have to look at this from a business and logistical standpoint. Matt Araiza, coming off all that he's had to go through, is pretty cheap. Tommy Townsend for a punter is going to be somewhat expensive. But I think still this is a backup plan. This is hey, we're going to sign him to a pretty cheap contract, have him on the 90-man roster. If we don't get Tommy Townsend, cool, we have a backup plan. If we can be able to re-sign him, then bang. We have Tommy. We can choose to keep Matt Araiza. We can have him as a backup. We can plan for the future with him. We could do whatever. We could cut him. It doesn't matter. But at the same time, I think this is just somewhat of a planning sake for Brett Veach and the Chiefs. Now, I may be wrong. Maybe this is, hey, we're done with Tommy Townsend. We're going to sign this guy to a cheap contract. Hope he works out. We don't really know. He hasn't been in the game of football for over a year. That's kind of the question, though, you're sitting here. But I will say this. Is he a risk? Yes. But is he also getting a second chance? I mean, this guy's charges were dropped. It's not like he has any criminal investigation going on at all anymore. So, how big of a risk is he actually? Well, risk or not, risks have somewhat gone well for Andy Reid in his coaching tenure. Obviously, with the Eagles, he took a couple risks on Terrell Owens and Michael Vick. Well, I don't know about you, but those guys panned out pretty well. Obviously, with the Chiefs, Tyreek Hill was somewhat of a risk. Had that issue in college, was cut by Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy said goodbye. He ended up going to a different college, then made it to the NFL, and guess what? Now he's been arguably the best receiver in the NFL for the past couple of years. Kadarius Toney is the lone guy who I would sit here and say he hasn't panned out, but we don't know if that's going to happen later. Maybe the Chiefs cut him, maybe the Chiefs don't. I don't know. But all three of these guys up here, those have been risks taken by Andy Reid in his career that have honestly worked out well. I think that if you look at this from a outside perspective, you take a step back, there's really, really high upside from Matt Araiza. But I think people realize how important punters are, how crazy that Matt Araiza could be for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think you have to sit here and say, I love Tommy Townsend, but Matt Araiza could ultimately change the game in a lot of different facets. Obviously, the punts inside the 20, that creates such a crazy flip of the field, change of the game, that I don't think you realize how much that affects a football game. I love Tommy Townsend. I know that overall you're probably sitting here saying, well, I don't know if I want Matt Araiza. But ultimately there's this. I just mentioned it. Matt Araiza could potentially be a top punter in the National Football League. You're going to sign him for dirt cheap. Meanwhile, Tommy Townsend, he's a proven guy. He's somebody who has been in this league for a while. He is somebody who has been able to show himself off. And guess what? He is going to cost you that money. He is going to cost you, basically, I'm here money. I am the guy. I know what I'm doing. And overall, I am understanding of my abilities. Ultimately, I think this is a good signing. I mean, he was a draft pick as a punter. A draft pick. That's all I'm going to say. Now, again, was out of football. That's the risk you have to do with this. Had the rape lawsuit. It's just kind of crazy when you sit here and think, okay, this guy's been through so much, and yet people still want him. That's how good he has played. That's how good he could be and ultimately changing the game. We showed you the FBS records. This guy was the best punter college football had ever seen. I love Tommy, but ultimately Matt Araiza is something that I'm exactly kind of ready to go with. I asked this question, though. Obviously, the Chiefs continue to sign free agents, and I know that they're not the biggest of names, but I want to keep you updated. I want to make sure that you are up to date with every single thing we have. So, name a free agent you want the Chiefs to sign in 2024. that maybe is a bigger name. Maybe it's a smaller name. Maybe it's the re-signing of Chris Jones or L'Jarius Sneed. Name a free agent you want to sign in 2024. Get down in the comment section and let me know who you're thinking as the Chiefs make their moves leading up to the NFL draft. Honestly, there's a lot of moves they can make, but here's the good one. Brett Veach is a guy who doesn't sleep. He signed a punter, for goodness sake. He signed a punter. So guess what? I think he's going to continue to make moves, and we're going to continue to cover him. So hit that subscribe button, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. The Punt God is in KC. If you're happy about it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I can't wait for hopefully a good job for him. But we'll have to see. Again, we'll have you covered on everything. But for now, Chiefs Kingdom, peace out, and we'll see you next time.